Story time. Let me tell you about that one time that I met Neil Gaiman. Quick backstory. Alex, formerly known here as Palmer, but who has long ago requested that I refer to him as Alex, so Alex and Palmer are the same person. Anyway, is Amanda Palmer's half-brother, and Amanda Palmer is Neil Gaiman's wife, which makes Neil Gaiman Alex's brother-in-law. Okay? Good. So Alex and I were doing a musical together last summer, a chorus line with Wildwood Summer Theater in Bethesda, if you were curious. We'd done another show together the summer before, which Amanda had come to see, which is how I met her the first time. That story is not very interesting and mostly just consists of me embarrassing myself. And she was able to come to this one as well. Come closing night, the night when Amanda was supposed to be there, which was also alumni night, and my very last Wildwood performance ever, because this was right before I was going to move to LA, I was already a big ball of nerves and feelings. And then before I knew it, it was already showtime. Now, if you're familiar with chorus line, the actors start the show facing upstage away from the audience for a good chunk of the opening number. When things calmed down, I was on the sidelines and facing the front, I decided to scan the audience to see if I could find anybody that I knew, including, of course, Amanda, and I soon spotted her. But next to her, no, couldn't be. Surely it's just a coincidence that there's a man with curly black hair sitting next to Amanda. Can't be. But no, it was not a coincidence. It was Neil himself. Cue internal flailing and trying really hard not to break character. Because the actors are pretty much constantly on stage during chorus line, I did not have a moment to like freak out and then, you know, get back into character, so I had to just like hold this in the back of my mind for like half the freaking show, and then by the time we got a break, I was about ready to explode. The guy who stood next to me on the line also happens to be a big fan of Mr. Neil Gaiman. So, the second we got our first break in the show and we marched off stage, I grabbed him by the shoulders and started whisper screaming and jumping up and down, "Neil Gaiman is in the audience!" In hindsight, may or may not have been a mistake. Sorry, Chris. Somehow we got through the rest of the show without messing up as a result of this knowledge, took our bows, and went to stage door. There in the lobby, there was a mob forming by the auditorium door, and before I could register that I should probably be moving in that direction, Chris, the guy who I told during the show, showed up out of nowhere and started shoving me towards the mob, shouting something about how I was right that it was Neil Gaiman in the audience, but I should probably say hi first because he's a complete random stranger and I'm less of a random stranger. I don't know. So I reached the mob and I met Neil Gaiman. Sweaty, tired, with mic tape residue on my cheek and still in shock, I exchanged a few words with him about the show that I can't even begin to remember, and he graciously posed for some pictures with me and a bunch of my friends in the company who had discovered the whereabouts of our little celebrity guest, as Amanda stood watching fondly, chatting with Alex and myself and a few of our friends. There was a cast party then, with Neil and Amanda both in attendance, but I don't think anyone involved would appreciate me divulging the details on the internet like this, so I'll just skip that part. The following morning, Alex, our friend Alaska, Neil, Amanda, and myself all went out for brunch in town, at which point I learned firsthand just how goddamn hilarious Neil Gaiman actually is. While Amanda went inside for a moment, Neil snatched up her white sunglasses, put them on, and immediately started improvising a character complete with brilliant fake accent and one priceless one-liner after another until she returned. I also learned what it's like to be the companion of the famous person while they're being ambushed by an excited fan asking for an autograph. I'd call it a combination of entertaining, awkward, and a little bit of heartwarming, I think. So yeah, that was probably one of the best weekends of my life. And now that I've made you sufficiently jealous, peace, love, geekdom, bye!